Welcome to Scissor Bros Live. How you guys doing? Like Kool-Aid stuff?
Kool-Aid, tons of Kool-Aid.
Tons of Kool-Aid?
Tropical punch Kool-Aid.
Oof.
Lemonade, my mom would let me make it, and I would hand pour, and it was just syrup. And we'd freeze it and make cups of Kool-Aid and eat it like icy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd eat the powder out of the bag, make our own pixie sticks. It was disgusting. It was absolutely. I look back on that, and I cringe and want to vomit. And I was like, who was watching me? How does this happen?
When was the last time you had Kool-Aid?
Maybe a couple weeks ago. Old habits die hard, man. Hey, I call these the Joe Rogan mics, even though they've been around since Thriller and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Because that's who inspired me to buy them. I was like, I'm getting that one. I'm getting that one.
Yeah, you didn't see Michael Jackson recording, and you're like, I'm going to get that. You're like, I saw Rogan recording, and I'm going to get that mic.
I sure seven Sabees. I know my history.
Yeah? You know that mic history?
Mm-hmm.
I always, I don't know the name of the mic, but I associate one other mic with a rock star, which is that classic silver mic with Elvis. Do you know what I mean? With the grooves in it, that 50s mic.
It's a beautiful microphone.
I don't know what it is, but I don't think it obviously didn't catch on. Like, it's just a mic from back in the day, but like I'll see every once in a while a musician that will rock that at a show, one of those. I'm like, where did they get that?
eBay.
Yeah?
Yeah, they got to get
everything on
used
eBay. Yeah, probably.
Because it's from 1956.
Yeah.
And they stopped manufacturing them.
It's pretty dope.
Are we rolling? Is that started?
I think we're in it.
We're in it?
We're in it.
I do the same thing.
I think we're in it. I think it's more organic if...
You just start chit-chat.
Yeah, if you start talking.
Does everyone riff about those weights on the table?
No, actually.
Because my first thought was, why the fuck are there weights? Like, is that like to boost energy? That was my first organic thought.
Is Jeremiah doing a weird bit with weights?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's to hold the table down. There's a lot of,
I might get sandbags eventually, but I don't use my weights, so I use them as table weights instead.
I like the weights because where are you gonna put the sandbag? There's no legs, you know.
I know, so
it just take up more room.
Yeah, it's kind of
the old sandbag in it. The old sandbag.
Old sandbaggers. We did a show recently that I want to talk about.
Which one? I don't remember.
I'm not going to name the name of the venue because I am going to put this show on blast right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember. We were crossing paths. I just ate shit on stage.
Okay. So
Whoa.
this one, this gig, I'll say it was a deep valley show.
Deep is an understatement. You just kept going. You're like, what is this?
You didn't know that California went that deep in the valley.
I was like, I didn't know we had oil rigs in California. How deep can we go?
Why are there accents in this part of California? What's
happening?
happening?
Why are they playing country music here?
Yeah, dude.
That happens.
It was, I know.
I didn't know that.
Isn't that weird how, like, the farther outside of LA you go, you realize how big of a state California is. You're like, oh, there's legit, like, a lot of different types of people.
I did Sacramento and stayed in Vacaville. I don't know. Look at my accent changed immediately.
I don't know.
And all the bars after the show, they all bump country music, and I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And I was like, why aren't they playing West Coast hip hop? You know?
Sure.
And they're like, oh, that's what they play up here. It blew my mind. I was like, but we're in California.
Yeah.
I thought that was some other shit.
I don't get it. I did a bar gig that was on the way up to Northern California that was like a 3-4 hour drive. It was called a gig called The Ranch back in the day. And it was accents galore up there. Just like a few hours north of California.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, really?
Yeah.
People are this different, just like a couple hundred miles away.
Yeah, it trips me out.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So I walk into this bar show, which going into the gig, I was like, it was one of those gigs where, when you forget that you agreed to do a gig and then you look in your calendar and you're like, I got a show that's farther away than I thought tonight.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Go and do that. I never flake or cancel on shows if I can, unless I'm like really sick or something.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm driving. I'm like, this is a freaking drive.
Yeah.
Okay. And I roll into the venue and I start looking and, there's an audience that's there. But the setup on this stage is very strange. It's one of the strangest setups I've ever seen, where everybody is on the floor of this bar, and then they are literally they have to crick their necks up, like I'm not even exaggerating, to look up at this balcony.
We're in a tree house. We're in a goddamn tree house.
Yeah.
The stage is at least 7 feet tall.
Oh, dude,
8?
That stage that had to be at least a 10-foot high
10
stage.
foot? Jesus Christ.
It had to have been, because you think of a basketball goal.
Oh, yeah.
It had to have been 10 feet.
Yeah, you're right, because it was substantially above my head, and I'm 6'6", so...
Yeah. I know my measurements.
I'm 5'11". I didn't hit the 6. I really wanted it.
Oh, come on, Jeans. Come on, we got a couple more years. Let's really get into this.
I know. I'll get some bone spurs, and they'll elevate me.
So I walk into this gig, and Craig is on stage, and I'm looking up at him, and and this is always a bad sign, I know, in a show, when a comic says or acknowledges another comic coming into the room. That is a last-ditch effort.
Yeah.
That is a lifeline that's like, I'm trying to get any energy in here, dude. Like, what's going on? So
help me.
Help me.
Help me.
So Craig goes, oh, Jeremiah Watkins is here. And I was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like,
uh-oh.
I was like, what's going on? I've been in this situation enough times. And then Craig goes, hey, Jeremiah, get ready to eat shit up here.
And then I said, well, you'll probably actually do well. You'll do crowd work. I was like, that's not my strength.
Yeah. You're like,
I'm saying this on the show, into the microphone, to the fucking show.
Yeah, and then he's like, I got stories, or you said something like that.
I got long stories, guys. What do you want? It's not the room for that.
So I go to the back, and the booker goes, hey, so I got so-and-so, and then you. Is that cool? I was like, well, you have me going on after Craig, right? You said in the text. And he goes, yeah, but he gets off in 30 seconds. I go, no, I'll go on.
I want out.
I want to go in
out.
and out.
Yeah.
And so I go on, and it was one of those sets where they have a timer on the stage going down from 15 minutes. And that was the longest 15 minutes that I felt on stage in a long time.
Normally, I love the timer. The timer is like, oh, I know exactly what I can do and not run the light and be an asshole. And then that timer was the exact opposite. It gave me anxiety. I was like, I still have 6 minutes left.
Oh, dude.
I don't think you were there yet, but I saw it later, and I was like getting ready to bail. I just didn't. It was awful. It was awful.
I was burning through material so fast because the laughs were not sustaining in between.
No.
You're running through more jokes than you should be. You're like, oh, this usually fills this amount of time. Then I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm like searching for other things, and it was bizarre. And a guy was so drunk during my set that he was talking louder than I was into the amplified mic when he was ordering a bar. I go, hey man, you're kind of being louder than the mic that I'm talking into.
Yeah.
And he goes, do your shit, bro.
I think that was the meth guy. That was a guy on meth. At least it looked. That was more than alcohol.
Did you see him earlier in the show?
Yeah, we called him the meth guy. I don't really know. Sorry to, but yeah, it looked pretty guilty to me. He's like,
So I say to him back, I laugh. I go, do your shit, bro. I'm just trying to do my thing up here. I can't even hear myself. And he shoots me a look that is so evil that it silences the room. It literally, the whole room is scared.
Yeah.
And then I try to start riffing my way out of that, like riffing on the situation. I'm going back and forth with the guy, and I'm like, they can't even laugh because they're scared that you're gonna kill me. And I'm just like riffing and stuff like that. But to the point where I got off, and it was kind of an awkward dismount, and I get off, and I'm like, I don't want to walk through the front because this guy is legit. He's not wired correctly.
Yeah.
So I walk out the back, and I chill back there with a couple other comics for a couple of minutes, and then walk around from the back to the front. By the time I went to the front, that guy had gotten in a fight with somebody else, and he was on the ground bleeding.
Good. Someone knocked him out.
Yeah.
He got what was coming.
That could have been me, though.
Yeah.
I had my spidey sense tingling.
You're
like
skinny, but you look pretty scrappy. You could throw a punch.
I'll throw a punch, but
then
I'll run. Then I'll sprint out of there.
That's why you always carry a knife, bro.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm a tiny, skinny, scared guy. That's why I was like, all right, you fucking attack me. I am going to survive.
Have you gotten in a fight before? Or back in the day, did you get in fights?
A lot of drunken, sloppy, yeah, just bar fights. I got knocked out a bunch. I've never been in a sober one-on-one man fight. It was always drunken, insane behavior.
Yeah, there's something like altering your logic or your reasoning for getting into that fight.
Yeah, I always was funny, and laughter got me out of it. And I never was good at fighting. So I was like, why would I want to get in a fight?
Why would I engage?
I mean, maybe as a little kid, I guess probably, but I don't really remember. Nothing like after school, church park. There was this church park everyone fought at. It was so weird.
A church park?
Yeah. And in Torrance. And
you better be bringing Jesus with you on your side. Otherwise,
bring the Bible and your cross. We need to repent after what we do to each other.
Because this fight will be a sin. Knowing that going into it, are you sure you still want to fight?
Yes. No. I never had one of those, but just a lot. I've just definitely have been knocked out like 2 to 3 times.
Knocked out?
Oof. Or choked out or same shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, God. I didn't mean it. I was a whippersnapper. That's why I'm sober off narcotics and alcohol. Changes people. They're fun, though. I'll admit that. I ain't no square. But inevitably, it's bad for you.
Craig?
Yes?
This is God.
Thanks.
I wanted to ask you, do you have anything that you would like to apologize to me for right now?
Pretty much the first 30 years of my life. I'm sorry. 29. I got sober at 29. So yeah. The first 29, my bad. After that, come on, cut me some slack, motherfucker. It's hard out here. It's hard. The mistakes reduced drastically. Please, God.
So you're going to apologize for 29 years with 2 sentences?
Yeah, man, I'm quick. I got brevity on my side. You know about that. Actually, you don't. That Bible you wrote is long as hell, God. I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
It's long as heaven.
You're funny, God. Do I have to go to purgatory first?
No, you're a good guy. I'll let you in.
Ah, thanks, man.
Sometimes people call into this show. I never know who's going to call in. Sometimes God calls in. Satan has called in a bunch.
I'm good on that, man. Ooh.
Yeah. Yikes. Just Nickelodeon.
You remember Weinerville? Does anyone remember Weinerville?
Why does that sound familiar?
It was on Nickelodeon. Mark Weiner.
Weinerville.
I watched that shit, and I always thought, even as a child, why is it called Weinerville?
Yeah.
It is his last name, but
I don't know if I remember it. It
was weird. It was like Pee Wee Herman type show. Like the guy had puppets.
As soon as you say a guy with puppets, you're like, no, it's one of those kind of shows. It's a guy with puppets.
He went on to create, I believe, Dora the Explorer. He's doing all right.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know why I just Google stuff and retain weird information.
Did you ever watch a show? It wasn't on Nickelodeon, I don't think, but Erie, Indiana.
I loved Erie, Indiana. I loved it more than Are You Afraid of the Dark?
See, I have asked multiple friends if they remember Erie, Indiana, and not many people do. And I loved that show.
I was kind of raised by the television a little bit. Television and sugar and Top Ramen.
Okay.
Made these bones.
What kind of sugar are we talking?
Just the white, bleached, poison sugar, C&H, you know.
Like Kool-Aid stuff?
Kool-Aid, tons of Kool-Aid.
Tons of Kool-Aid?
Tropical punch Kool-Aid.
Oof.
Lemonade, my mom would let me make it, and I would hand pour, and it was just syrup. And we'd freeze it and make cups of Kool-Aid and eat it like an icy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd eat the powder out of the bag, make our own pixie sticks. It was disgusting. It was absolutely. I look back on that, and I cringe and want to vomit. And I was like, who is watching me? How does this happen?
When was the last time you had Kool-Aid?
Maybe a couple weeks ago. Old habits die hard, man. They have it at this chicken tender place, and of course I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
it's nostalgic. I'm not buying it and making it, but I was like, oh, Kool-Aid.
Right. If it's out, you're gonna drink it.
It was there. It was in that like clear box with the like the fountain, like the horchata boxes. Yeah. They had Kool-Aid in the horchata box. How am I supposed to? And it changed me. Red dye number 4.
That's your weird superhero origin story, is like, I was addicted to Kool-Aid at a young age.
And I harassed old ladies at the local Sizzler with my grandma Kiki.
Kiki?
She's a true story. I would take the strap off my mother's purse, because you know how it's clips on it. You could take them off.
Yeah, with the little...
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I put it in the bushes at a Sizzler, so it was like a snake, and put it on like a lady's shoulder. And she just screamed and like, fucking... Ah! And then I was like, oh, shit.
Were you a prankster as a kid? Yeah?
Yes, I was a schmuck. I would run amok. I was high on sugar. My mom said I was wild out the womb. My sister did drop me out of my head as an infant. So
Wild out the womb. That's a good title for something.
I'll put that on a shirt. Wild out the womb, motherfuckers.
Wild out the womb.
And yeah. Wild at the womb. Since birth. And I don't know how to change. I've been reducing my sugar. But my dick's still hard, you know? I've been trying, God. You called in a moment ago, and I've been repenting, and I just want to be a comedic superstar, and that shit's hard. Life is hard. I don't give a fuck. So what if you get ringworm on your dick one time? It was one time, God. Boy, I have a weird mind, don't I, God? You created this. It's getting hot in here. So I took off all my clothes. Oh.
Did somebody say it's getting hot in here?
No. There's Satan.
Hey.
God damn it. Oh, that's why you came. I'm sorry, God.
I heard you say hot as hell, and I was like, hey, boy.
I've been trying to not talk to you anymore. I put you in my past.
Oh, come on.
I was tired of being called demonio by my own mother.
Come on, talk to Satan a little bit.
That means demon in Spanish. If you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
I thought you were going to say it, Satan. I thought you were.
I'm gonna sing it to you.
I ain't gonna lie, Satan. It sounds like you got some nuts in your throat.
Hey.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I have a nut allergy, actually.
Of course, you started that.
I did.
The decline of peanut butter has a direct correlation to COVID-19. I saw it on the graphs.
There's no peanut butter in hell, and that's a fact.
I better start praying. No peanut butter in hell is no place I want to be. I thought I would like it down there because I could drink beer again, but no peanut butter. Go fuck
There's
yourself.
no peanut butter in hell. 'Cause once you fell all the way down,
I don't know how to sing.
there's
And
no Doritos either, and no Kool-Aid.
I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to pick up what you're putting down with that nut in your throat. Nuts. Big difference.
So we've already had God and Satan call into the show.
Yes. Satan scared me.
I think he did a little bit.
He did.
Demonia?
That's what my mom called me.
Demonia.
Demonio.
Demonia.
Or ay fragon.
What's that?
I don't even know. Shame on me. I think like I actually never asked her, but I just picked up like you come on, you jerk. Like, but it's on
yeah.
me, not calling me a jerk, like you little punk. Like,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Just like with the tone, that's
Yeah.
what you're feeling? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually know. Shame on me.
What, are your parents both Hispanic?
No, my mother is Mexican and my dad's white as hell. It's in my act, but it's true. He's German English from Boston. And my mom's from born and raised in Harbor City, Los Angeles, California area. But her parents were from Mexico City and Chihuahua, Mexico. So yeah, through the generations, you know, some cultures lost, America.
Some culture's lost, bruh.
Brah. Yeah, brah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't wear backward hats very often, but I knew you were coming on, and I wanted to match. I was like, I think Craig might be wearing a backwards.
It's a
hat today.
vibe.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe for sure.
I just became my uniform. I wear it for a million different reasons.
Yeah.
One of them is keep the hair out of my mouth when I drive or eat. It's insanity.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. Two is in the beginning of stand-up, I didn't wear a hat and it was fine. I wore my hat up in a bun. I didn't like that look so much. I did that at the Second City where we met.
Yeah.
I had it up in a bun during the sketch shows. But then I just put the hat on and then it just, I don't know, like I had a good set and then I also, like I just wanted to have a look. I love Sam Kinison. He had his trench coat,
Yeah.
you know. And mine was flannels, t-shirt. I dress how I normally dress. It just became like a weird thing to where if I wear a hoodie on stage, a sweatshirt, I feel weird. I'm like, I'm in my own head. Like, I'm a fraud. I'm not wearing my flannel.
Oh, really?
It's so weird. I'll be in a hot ass city and I'll still put on a flannel. I'll regret it later and I take it off. I'm just weird like that.
I mean, I did that for years with a red jacket on stage.
Yeah.
I used to wear blazers. The first few years of comedy, I wore blazers because I thought that was going to be like my thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, the thing that only thing I can think the difference is my thing was already my thing.
No.
You know what I mean?
I was trying to find
that's
a thing.
why you gave
Yours
it up.
is natural.
Mine,
Yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, if I like picked up a thing that was unnatural, I would have dropped it a long time ago.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm
No,
like,
that's how
I
you
wear
dress.
this all the time, no matter what.
Yeah. Like if you do a TV set or whatever, you're going to be
I'll
dressed
wear
as
that.
you dress.
If they tell me to wear a suit, I'll be like, no.
Yeah.
That's the one time I'll put my foot down. I'm like, I'm not that.
Well, it's weird. It's interesting to me sometimes when I see a comic put on a suit for like a late night set or something where I'm like, but the people who will come to see you from that clip, you'll never be wearing a suit at those clubs.
Never.
So why would you put on a suit for a set? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll do it to like host a wedding or a fancy
Unless
night
maybe
and it's
there's
fun. But
behind the scenes, maybe they're telling you you have to. I don't know. Maybe that happens.
I believe it does happen. I would think they would understand, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a character. I am me. Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to change the character, which is me. It's not, you know. The business is so weird, you know. I was having a conversation with a comic buddy of ours. I'm not gonna name because I don't know, but they got a gig, like a big thing, and then the corporation, the suits were trying to change it, and they're
Right.
like, you booked me for me and my talent, and here's what I want to show the world, and now you're pulling stuff from 6 years ago that doesn't fit in there because you like it.
Yeah.
But they're like, that's not my art. I have a thing, and you're trying to enter a new thing, and you don't know that this gear's in motion. By entering even one new idea, you're a wrench in the spokes. You slow it down.
Yeah.
Now I have to go, oh wait, this one insert here, and we all do it, and we're pros, but it's a shitty thing to do to a comedian, a few days before a shoot or whatever
Yeah.
the gig may be. It's quite crazy that they will book an artist for their art and then try to change their art or control their art. And it's like, I understand some sensitive words with the whole shit. It's on network. You got to pull those. That's different. That's changing one word. You're now trying to get me to change the order, enter an old bit that I don't even do anymore. I got to knock the dust off it. It's very odd that they always...
It's weird. I did a TV taping where they tried to get me and Pat Reagan to wear something specific that they found through our Facebook or something in a photo. They're like, can you guys bring this? And we're like, no, we don't want to wear that.
And what if you're just like, we donated that Goodwill 6 years ago. Like, what are you doing?
It's so weird. They wanted us to wear, we had Reagan and Watkins shirts that, his said Reagan and mine said Watkins, and his had like a little guitar on it. And it was like just like little merch that we used to sell for like a short period of time. Like, bring those. And we're like, we're not being those comics who come out with their names on their shirts.
Yeah.
And it's already like, there's already a bad stigma with music comedy in general.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to like
We're
lean
not
into
checking
that.
2 of the 3 boxes. You bring a puppet out next. We got all the boxes.
Just all of them. It's going to be a hard pass from all of us here.
And then you do your whole act on Spirit Airlines. You're like, that's every box there ever was.
Have you ever sat in one of those seats?
I know. It's crazy. Everyone has a bit on Spirit Airlines.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the joke.
Yes.
It's, try Virgin Atlantic. I don't know. Try it. I'll stop talking.
Doesn't Second City feel like almost a different life ago?
It was a lifetime ago. I met you when I was terrified of stand-up, and that's why I was at the Second City. And I would remember you'd always cut out those pieces of paper. You put them on the seat, improvise stand-up with Jeremiah Watkins, and I would always go to your show, even when you had it on Santa Monica at that little theater.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I was drinking, and it was a good show. Bring your own beer. I said, nope, don't mind if I do.
We used to do BYOB at this little theater, and for sure, like we would sometimes even give out free beer, and like I think some people were coming that might not have been.
They were homeless. You don't need to candy coat it. They were street people. They came for the beer,
and we just
not
needed
the show.
We needed bodies with pulses in the audience for the comics. That's what we needed.
Hey, but if you can get a schizophrenic to laugh, I mean, come on.
You're doing something right in comedy,
that's
man.
some material.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah, I used to flyer it up at Second City all the time. They'd let me do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used to, I was there all the time. That was my first home.
That was my
comedy club.
home club.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
felt very safe there, like creatively, and just like the friendship and like the family and like just the relationships. There are a lot of good people.
A lot of great people.
Yeah.
Great, good-hearted people. Yeah, I just remember coming in and just being this weird, like, because everyone is not from Los Angeles. I remember every single class. Remember, it's like, I'm from Ohio. I'm from, Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm from LA, and they all had like when I signed up, I lied. There was a class for new booties who've never done anything ever, and then there was advanced for actors.
Yeah, the improv for actors program.
And then I was a new booty who never had done anything, but I was such a cheapskate. where I was like, I'm not going in the minors. I'm gonna jump up here and get my money's worth.
Right.
And then everyone was so trained, and I was such a raw, nervous, spastic nerve that either hit grand slam home runs, not a lot, but or we all fell and bled real bad, and it was no one wanted to work with me except for the OG vets that knew what to do with me. And that's when it was like magic.
They knew how to mine you for gold.
Oh,
because they're like, there's something funny about this guy.
When I got teamed up with those people, it was just straight like, it was just magical. I can't explain it, but I failed a lot.
Of course.
Oh, so
but
much.
that's what those classes are for, though.
Oh, it was some painful memories, but the magical still stick out. I remember like yesterday, just goosebumps, like just standing with the pro, and he's just lobbing me softballs.
Yeah.
And I'm just this weird anomaly. I was the wild card, Sometimes I was too fucked up too, and one time the teacher like kicked me out of class. She goes, "You high right now?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Go sit outside," because I wasn't paying attention, and I'd just go up there.
Were you just staring like at the wall, like when she was going over, like?
No, I just wouldn't listen to her instructions, and then I'll just do whatever I did. And then
just taking no direction whatsoever.
just everything went to shit and poop, and just one of the teachers goes, "God damn it, stop talking about shit, Craig."
I had a teacher that
Oh, Jesus Christ.
My buddy and I wrote a song about having butt sex with a girl for like our sketch show, and our teacher, like, we like previewed it for her, and then like she just took a pause and she goes, "There will not be a song about anal sex in this review." And my buddy and I were like, fair enough. Cool.
I don't know how we didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just new. When you're new, that's why people like can't judge a motherfucker off anything one says. First of all, adrenaline and being in the moment makes you say crazy things, and then you're just like, well, that doesn't represent anything about me.
Yeah,
I was reaching,
because
I was dying,
Of course.
And in the beginning, your gauge, a lot of times, a lot of comics just go to shock because it's like that'll get a response.
That's the quickest way to get a laugh.
And so. Yeah, it's just, that's, what were you, a year in, 2 years in? Exactly.
Yeah.
You would never do that now, would you?
No, not right. I mean, whatever.
You're like,
I don't
I got a
greatest
hits.
I'm gonna
Butt Fuckers Volume 2.
Yeah.
Hello, it is I, the Sheath Snake, coming to tell you about Sheath Underwear, the most comfortable underwear in the world. Unlike other underwear out there, there's a 2-pouch compartment system, one for your penis, one for your balls, for the ultimate support system. I am the Sheath Snake, so I know something about second skin and shedding skin, and I must tell you that Sheath Underwear is like a second skin for the human body. The owner, Robert Patton, came up with this patented idea on his second tour in Iraq while he was very hot out in the desert, like a snake. And that is when he met me and came up with the idea for the second skin idea that is Sheath. So go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Jeremiah to get 20% off your first order. Every Sheath order comes with it 100% money back guarantee. Get Sheath Underwear today and let them support your balls.
I always worked a full-time job. Well, not anymore, but I worked a full-time job, and I just, as soon as I jumped from improv in the Second City and UCB, I went 100% into stand-up.
Yep.
And I didn't have the resources to do both. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it's smart because you get mediocre at two things.
That's what I mean. I was like, I want to be. I knew that's how it was. It's like you have to focus on one.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
And I know multiple people multiple friends who I was trying to get to do stand-up earlier on at Second City.
Oh, don't name them. Was that one of them? I would always try to get him. I'm like, man, you're a fucking stand-up. That guy, Carl Tart, I love you, bro. I mean, he's thriving. He was just in a show with Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh, yeah. He's writing on, like, every show. Yeah, he's doing great.
He's so funny.
Shout out to Carl Tart.
Carl Tart, you are so goddamn funny. I still want to see you do stand-up, bro. I'll.
He would do stand-up on the spot a couple times at Second City, and then he did it at that little theater on Santa Monica, and all his sets were great.
I can't. I've imagined him on act outs, and I'm like, bro, he's got an Eddie Murphy vibe. That guy's got the glow, man. You got the glow. You got the glow. Show enough. Don't cancel me on that, everybody. It's just a movie. I love that movie. I'm quoting a movie.
Yeah.
Carl Tart, you're so goddamn funny. I'm very happy for all your success, but I still want to see you do goddamn stand-up, bro. I think you'll be great out the gate.
Yeah.
He's dope.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, God damn it, they called me out.
Are you? Yeah, I tried to get a handful of people, which later on they ended up going into.
Are we allowed to name them? Is that weird? I'm just so curious.
No, I think that there's a handful of people from Second City who are now. I'm trying to think of people who. Lisa Curry was one of those people who. She I think got into stand-up a little bit later after Second City, and she's doing great now. She's like opening for Jim Jeffries, and like it's just cool to see like there's a small pool of Second City people who are still doing it, because you go to improv school with lawyers and random people who are just taking it for public speaking,
actors. I just remembered Deanna Reasonover was also...
she's killing it.
She's killing it, but she would also just dip into stand-up and do like a half hour in murder, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're crazy? Like, you know what I mean? Just to have that. This was like, she's like, yeah, it's my like third time doing stand, and she does a half hour and kills. I'm like, all right, what the fuck are you? She's another just...
mega talent.
Extreme talent. You're just like, she books everything always. She just books TV shows. Yeah. But I don't believe I finished my whole thought. I always wanted to be a rich trust fund kid, so I could take improv classes all day and hit stand up all night. That's what I wanted. But I was a poor kid working at Trader Joe's, so I chose stand up after hours.
It's working out though.
It sure is. Dude, I got like, I don't know, my career's, I know I still have a goddamn mountain to climb, but I started touring, bro, and I'm just can pinch myself. I'm just like,
well, that's what the goal is as a stand-up. You want to tour.
I got like, I don't even know, 52 cities and no credits. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Some of them definitely not the most glamorous gigs.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're doing it. You're literally doing the thing that everybody wants to be doing as a stand-up.
Yeah, it's surreal, is what it is. Really, I'm getting the chills thinking about it. Cause I remember working at Trader Joe's while still drinking and drugging and shit, and like in the very beginning, like saying like, I'll live out of my car, like I don't want to work, I just want to do stand-up, and then I was just like, oh, you're an idiot. That's the hardest existence ever. And you're 6 months in. You know what I mean? Like, comics are nuts. I just thought, like, 6 months in, where's the money? And you're like, oh, that came 8 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. And then thank God I was very quick to realize, like, oh, you're a dum-dum. You're delusional. That's not how this shit works. Mm-hmm. I just talked to a few people, asked for advice, and they gamed me up. And I was like, oh, just focus on being funny. Thank you, Grant Lyon and Tamer Katan and Brian Granger. They all were very early influences and gave me nothing but sound advice on just common sense, really, but you still need to hear it.
Of course, you need little reminders along the way of like, you just need to do this. I mean, the amount of times where I've had some comics along the way when I really needed it, when I like back up against the wall with like stand up and just trying to make things happen, a comic who I would respect, who would just tell me, don't worry, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. I know it sounds very hard to hear that right now, but keep doing what you're doing and things are going to work out. That's a hard note to take, but you're like, what does that mean? But then as years progress, you're like, okay. Okay.
No, that advice is almost generic and almost angers you in the beginning because everyone says that and everyone receives it. And if you're not, I didn't understand until later, like what you just said. Later, I was like, oh, that's why everyone says that, because it's truth.
Yep.
It is true. Just
know that if you get that note in whatever profession, it's a big compliment that somebody's going out of their way to say that to you, whatever profession that you're working in, even though it feels like frustrating in the moment.
You're just like, that's not, I want
specific
details. Like what do I need to do?
But what am I doing right though? Could you tell me? It's like, no, don't worry.
Just keep. And it is the best advice ever because and it is a compliment. It means you're on the right path. It means it's working.
Mm-hmm.
It unfortunately, you just have to kill for like 10 years to be noticed.
Dude.
Not just one, like 10.
I'm still
relentlessly killing.
I'm still trying to shake sets with certain comics that they saw me do from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I go for it. I'll take risks.
Yeah.
And some of those risks will be seen by other comics who are passing by. I'm like, oh, he's that kind of comic. And then they write you off for like years because they don't see you go up. Sometimes you don't. It's weird. The amount of times I see even you as a friend around the scene, but the amount of shows that we've actually done together is so minimal, which is crazy that the scene is just big enough where that can even happen.
It is nuts to know that we probably ran into each other 1,000 times
so
and
many
been
times.
on 2 shows together.
It's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
More
than 1,000.
I was thinking about it when you were coming over today. I was like, how many shows have I actually done with Craig? And it's a very small number.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Known each other a decade and we've done 3 shows together. And we're always at all the same clubs constantly.
Same clubs,
same circles.
Never on the same lineups.
Yeah.
Have mutual friends all in the same circle.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre.
It is. It really is. And then somehow, some way, like you just get paired up with a guy and you're on every show together and it's really odd. You're just like,
why?
I mean, yeah, I love you. I'm glad, but like every no shame. It's just strange.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
I think bookers get in their mind. They're like, this energy goes well with this energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they stick to that.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. It's just I'm not complaining. It's just an odd thing that really does happen. Where one guy you'll be on 400 shows together, and then one guy 2. Yeah. All the same friends, all the same circles.
Now we've got to get on a good show together soon.
Yes.
We got to cleanse the palate of the one that just happened. But I'll remember that show because that's the first time I've ever had a comic be like, "You're about to eat it."
Jeremiah, come on up here, young man.
Yeah, take your lashings.
Oh God. Oh, I remember I was running new bits and then I was like, oh, these are eating shit. And then I was like, all right, I'll do old bits. And then that was eating shit. Tried and true bits that work.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and then that's when I was like, hey, Jeremiah, save me.
I was running like a specific set that night. And I was like, I had been running it for a little while. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it and see how strong this 6 or 7 minutes is in this room.
Yeah.
And it got something. And I was like, if it's getting something in this room, all right.
You have balls because if I were to run like a TV set or a JFL set in that room, I would lose faith in every joke.
I would have,
and I would regret it, and I would be like, why did I do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure. The longer I go into comedy, sometimes I'm like, maybe I don't need to do that 3rd spot of the night. Maybe I can tap out at the 2nd good one. You know what I mean? There's no like mentally, I'm good. Yeah. I don't need to risk that 3rd, like where there's 5 people in there. It's like, I just did a room with like 100 people in there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
and it just hurts. You're like, I did the Sold Out Laugh Factory, and now this room, and you're just like, why did I do this?
Why did I do this to myself?
What's crazy? Thank God. Thank you. That show was first, and then I had, I had the Laugh Factory after, and I ran the same new bits, and they smashed. And it was the Laugh Factory. You know, that club is just electric.
Yeah, of course.
Man. That Laugh Factory is it's cheat club. It's just when it's packed, it's so fire, man.
Yeah, that's it's similar to like an ice house.
Ice house, sold out ice house, sold out Laugh Factory. Is just you're just like the energy that hits you. It's in the great Greg Giraldo words too. He taught me that word. He's like, it's a palpable, tangible energy, and you could feel it, and you could always feel it, but especially so at those clubs. It's like a wave of energy. It hits you in the face and the chest.
Yeah, it's I think my favorite room in LA is the Comedy Store main room.
Sold out.
Yeah, I mean that room's insane.
I mean it's always sold out. Yeah. God bless Brian Monarch for letting me host and get spots on all those shows, because they were insane. Those lineups were like Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, Sarah Silverman, and me. You know what I mean?
It's dope.
Thank you, Monarch. And him, but obviously no one's there to see us.
Right.
Not anymore. The tide is changing. I'm bringing 6 to 20. Bill Burr brought the other 500, but I brought 6.
We got to start somewhere. I love it.
Yeah, the Comedy Store is magical too. The OR can be tough, but it also can be electric. And I love the belly room. The belly room too, hot. We're so lucky that the clubs in our town are electric.
Sure.
Improv is changing some things. It was electric. I don't know what happened to that room, but
the main room or the
they
lab?
remodeled it. The both.
I haven't been in there since I haven't been in there since the pandemic.
Oh yeah, I haven't either. They remodeled it again. All I know is when I started, that room was fire 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. Then they remodeled everything and made it fancy, and then it wasn't. I love you, Improv. Thank you for the spots, but everyone knows that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're remodeling again, trying to fix it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, it's a beautiful saying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, they haven't changed anything inside the store in forever.
Fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Change the carpet, the light bulbs.
I mean, yeah.
That's it. Minimal.
There's still semen on this carpet. Like what's?
Not the walls. Don't change the walls.
Yeah. Let's get into this next segment that's called Fanning Out.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
I reached out to people online, and they reached out back with questions and scene suggestions for Craig and I to do. And this one comes from at jess.t.johnston. What's the best mushroom trip you've ever done?
Oh, man. I don't know. Hang on. Well, I suppose when I took a hero dose before I knew it was a hero dose because I was just a fan. Fear and Loathing came out was when I was in middle school. And let's just say Hunter S. Thompson influenced me and my friends. And then high school came around and I bought a couple ounces of mushrooms. And me and my buddy took 6 grams. And actually, this is probably the worst trip. Why am I telling this one? 6 grams is quite a lot for a 16-year-old kid that weighs 140 pounds. Let's just say I saw God, Satan, dragons. I saw all of it that day. I was a vegetable on a park bench staring at the sky. Just watching a war. I don't know what I was even watching, but that was a movie. There was stuff on the sky, and I was just like this. And I remember getting hit. It's what people don't know. The reason the mushrooms make you vomit, it is a bit of a food poisoning. It's your body's natural reaction to fighting off this food poisoning. And I'm sure
do you get more high as you throw up? Is that a real thing?
I felt a lot better. I'll tell you what.
Oh, you feel better.
Yeah, I ate too much that day, and it's in my act, that whole bit. It's like, I did too much, man. Like, yeah, it's just, and then I shit you not, I projectile vomited like Linda Blair on The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And this particular trip, that was like 12 to 15 high school kids, all on mushrooms, but only 2 of us ate what we ate, you know? And we went to the park right by my house, and like all my buddies told me, because I don't even really remember, but they said I shot a hose of puke up out and just was like, ah, like I just leaned over and was like, whoosh. They said it looked like the movies. They'd never seen anything like it. And it was just my body rejecting what I just put in it and whatever food I had in there. And I just remember a little family was walking by with all of the kids, you know, this big, this big, this big, and one in a stroller. There's a whole family. It was like 5 of them. And I was just puking. And I just remember looking at them being like, I'm sorry. But I also remember the first thoughts of sobriety ever entering my brain, and that's probably why I brought up that trip, is I never even thought sobriety was an option, just because of, you know, my family and everyone parties type of thing. And then, and I remember like being like, what are you doing? Like, get off pills. Don't do narcotics. Go hug your mama. Like, you know.
Right.
I obviously, you know, copped some pills right as soon as the high went away, but that was the first time I ever thought like that. I didn't even know. I was just taking stuff, you know. I don't even know why I was taking this stuff. I mean, self-coping mechanisms to feel good when you don't feel good. I learned that later, but at the time, you're just like, I'll take all the stuff, you know. You don't realize you're just dying inside. I love comics. Just laughing. It's true, though. I remember Rick Shapiro told me his mom died, and I laughed in his face. And he goes, I like you, kid. And he took me to Mel's and bought me a cheeseburger. First time I ever met him. I didn't even think it was funny. I just didn't know how to react. Because he just got off the phone, and I was on a show. We were doing the belly room or something. And then he was just like, my mom just died. And I just busted out in laughter. And he goes, I like you, kid. You want to go to Mel's? And then he bought me a cheeseburger. It was the funniest shit ever. Like, you know, you do that to another human being, they might punch you in the face.
Of course.
A comic is like, I don't know how to react to shit, so I laugh at horrible things.
I mean, dude, had I seen you puke, you would have seen me crying laughing. I have this thing that when I see people puke, I instantly I can't control myself. Uncontrollable laughter.
Yeah.
Anytime I saw my friends puke in high school when they got too drunk or whatever, I would be dying laughing. I don't know what it is about that it gets me every single time.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the more horrible a thing is, makes me laugh. Like, my wife left me, she took the house, the kids, and my dog just died. And then I'll just start laughing. It's almost like it can't get any worse. So I don't know. You surrender. It's just like, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people do it. We're not the only ones. I enjoy it.
Like, you get like terminal illness, like news from a doctor.
I might laugh.
Yeah.
I've laughed in girlfriends' faces as we've broken up before, and they think I'm an asshole.
Oh yeah, I bet
and then,
that's
and then they leave, and I cry for 2 months straight. It's just
how you react.
It's how I react to horrible news. My mom does it too. I've said this a bunch on many podcasts, but she's been kicked out of funerals for laughing.
So yeah, it's a legit uncomfortable.
My whole
thing.
family does it. My grandma had just passed, and we're eating Ramona's tamales and burritos on my Mexican side. And then I don't remember it was me or my Uncle Johnny, but we made the joke, you know, the coroner just took the body out, and we're eating, it's all quiet, and we're like, God, you act like someone just died in here, you know? And then we all just laughed as a family, cracked up, just eating. But grandma's in a body bag, you know what I mean? We love her. She was the matriarch. She took care of everyone.
Right.
Everyone lived in Grandma Kiki's house at one point, all of us.
That's such a
you
great
know how many, it was like 80
name.
motherfuckers in that Mexican side. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
In and out. Like, she was a hotel. Come on in. I love you. Always. And we just laugh. But it was coping, you know? What are you going to do? I'm alive. That's jokes. Just jokes. I'm sorry, Grandma. I love you. I'll see you soon. I mean, see you way later. I ain't talking to you.
Have you ever gotten that you resemble a young Anthony Kiedis?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you get that?
A lot.
I can imagine.
And Bradley Cooper. And Maz Jobrani's smile.
Bradley Cooper, that's a good one.
Yeah. They usually, on the internet, it's like... you know what's funny? R.I.P. Eric Myers, one of the best comics ever. He used to say I look like Bradley Cooper on crack. And then I followed him, which was... He's a very hard man to follow. But thank God I just said I look like Bradley Cooper on heroin. And it hit big. I don't know why everyone... I don't see Bradley Cooper. I could see Anthony Kiedis a little bit.
Yeah.
But I get Bradley Cooper more than any of them.
Really?
Yeah. It trips me out. Because I don't see it, but it's came up enough to where I was like, I guess I do.
I don't see Bradley Cooper.
It's in all the comments on all my viral videos, like repeatedly. It's quite nuts.
I mean, that's a good guy
I'll take it.
to be attributed to.
You hear that, Hollywood?
This question, or this is more of a suggestion. This is at Original Gator. Craig is a fireworks salesman, and you are a first-time buyer.
What brings you in today?
I would like some fireworks.
Oh, okay. Well, judging by your personality, you're gonna like the snakes. These little coals that look, they just...
What makes you say I'd like the snakes?
You just seem like a slow, mellow type of fella. You want something more, a little more speedy? A little more. I got mortars.
I like pizzazz.
Pizzazz? Okay, we got some good Roman candles. You hold one in each hand. Don't point it at your neighbor, though.
What about American candles? You have any of those?
Sorry.
Did you just toot in my face?
Excuse me, Legolas. I apologize.
My name is Gilbert.
Gilbert. How are you, Gilbert? You don't look like a Gilbert.
What makes you say I don't look like a Gilbert?
I only knew one Gilbert, and he didn't look like you. Betito. Uncle Betito. Anyways, let's get back to... I got Whistler.
You farted in my face. Was that the Whistler you were referring to? Is your butthole?
My apologies. I have a problem. I fart. You made me say it. I apologize. It's really itchy in here. Is this fiberglass? What's going on here? Anyways, I have skyrockets. No? Okay.
Skyrockets?
Skyrockets are good.
Do you have black cats?
Yes. Those are my favorite. They comes in strings of 16 usually, but 200, 2,000, 20,000.
Do you have 8th grade science fair volcanoes?
That we don't have, but you could make that out of anything. I mean, if those kids are making it, you could do it. Yeah.
Is everything okay with you?
My wife just left me, man. I'm dealing with a lot.
I see.
Dealing with a lot. She said something about my hair controlling my life.
There's a lot of facial things going on with you, isn't there? I didn't catch your name. My name's Gilbert.
My name is Guthrie.
What can $10.47 get me here?
Actually, quite a lot.
Oh, good.
Roman candles and sparklers. But there's 6 pieces in each, so that's 12 pieces. That's less than $1 a piece. You're welcome. My commission on this is 7 cents.
My question to you is, do the sparklers go out faster than the flame of your marriage?
Yes. Yes, they do.
I'll take them.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the hat off. Super Kiedis to me. When you say I'm gonna give it to your mama,
I don't ever wanna feel
like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's hard to believe.
There's no one
out
out
there.
there.
It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. If the city I live in, the city of angels, lonely as I am, together we cry.
Taka, 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 taka. Taka, 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 taka. Haka, taka, 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 taka.
It's heroin, Anthony Kiedis.
Welcome to Yabba dabba dabba doo now. Yabba dabba 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 doo now. Dabba dabba dabba.
Let's round out the show with a segment that you guys love and I love called Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk. So Craig is going to share a story of a sexual encounter, and I'm going to follow along with his sweet, sweet saxophone. And
Okay.
whenever you're ready, Craig,
Oh shit,
we'll do it
man.
up.
It was an older woman, and she had been after me for years. I didn't know that. My mother told me. She came to my birthday party. And she hit on me hammered. And it wasn't my house and there was nowhere to go. So we went to the park and fucked in the bushes. And it was quite honestly one of the best sexual experiences I've ever had in my life. She had a leg shorter than the other one. And I thought it was a sexy twist in her hip. Come to find out, the next day, I was told that one of her legs was shorter than the other. So what had happened was, she honked my wiener. And I took that as a sign of, wow, today's a good day. We went into a bedroom into the household that was not mine, and we proceeded to hook up, and I went down on her, and this older pussy was the best tasting pussy I've ever had in my life. Tasted like OG Kush with the proper alkaline balance of, and that, like that good water you pay the extra $2 for. You know what I'm talking about? That crisp. And I was just taken aback by it. I even was wasted. I was like, oh my God. Tastes like heaven. What happened? Then she hummed on my nutsack. And I don't believe I had that done to me yet at that point in my life. And let me tell you, that's a game changer. Wow. It was about to get even more hot and heavy, and the sexy time. And someone knocked on the door, and then we got kicked the fuck out because it wasn't our room. We were at a house party, and we just went into a room, and the owners of the home, which happened to be my sisters, they were like, "What are you doing in there?" And she's like, "Nothing." And then we went to the park. We got down in the bushes and on a park bench. And there was a man walking his dog, watching, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I was wasted and in the moment, and when in Rome, you bear back an older woman. And let a dog walk her watch. What was I gonna do? Technically, I'm in the wrong here. What am I gonna say? Move along, soldier. Get out of here. It was one of the coolest sexual experiences I ever had, and I doesn't know if she knows that. Her and my mom aren't friends anymore. But I wish we were. I wish we were. And that's my story of a sexual encounter with an older woman with one leg shorter than the other. God bless her for taking me down on my birthday. I appreciate you and all the love that you gave me. Is that good? I don't know how to do music, Jeremiah. I was nervous.
Dude. That was awesome.
That was wild. That was wild. That was a wild night.
So it was your mom's friend. They're no longer friends? She found out about it?
Yeah, I didn't tell her either. So.
Did your mom ever talk to you about it after the fact?
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, can't believe you slept with that lady. And I was like, I didn't.
Mom, I didn't.
I was like, you brought her to my birthday party. What are you going to do?
Listen, you bring an older babe to my birthday party, she's going to get banged out.
It was wild. You know, I obviously it was a party. I don't even know how old I was. I was young, though. Not that young. I was like 21 or whatever. Yeah. And it was, a house party. And it was lots of boys, lots of girls, party, And then all of a sudden, just this older woman hit on me. And I was like, wow. And she gobbled me up, and I enjoyed every fucking second of it. Every second of it. I was like, I didn't know women got down like that, I was just like, come here. It's fucking 2 thumbs up.
Dude. Well,
also just that unexpected, like, what?
Of course.
Like, all right.
On my birthday? Of course.
I'm tipsy?
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah. Fucking wild, dude.
Wonder what that lady's up to this day.
Going to more birthday parties? God bless her. God bless her.
She's
Just
like
seeking out birthday boys.
She's a birthday fairy.
Oh my God, that'd be so fun. Like wedding crashers? What if it's like a birthday boy crasher? Birthday cougars?
I mean,
can you say that anymore? Shh. I just did. I mean, talk about guys will be very happy.
Yeah.
Young bucks be like, what?
Young.
Come on in.
Come on in.
It's a party.
It's a party. Craig, thanks so much for doing the show, brother.
I love you, brother.
I love you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Where can people get tickets to your shows and stuff like that?
I am on tour, CraigConant.com. Craig P. Conant on all social medias. Next up is Salt Lake City and then Las Vegas. I got like 50 cities this year. Check out my website. It's nuts. Come to a show. Yes, I love you all. Thank you so much. Craig P. Conant on all social medias.
He's a fun follow. Check him out.
Check it out.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.